Well, as I told our team, it wasn't the outcome we wanted. Is certainly the way that we played wasn't how we have been playing, but credit a really good Oklahoma team. But I hope what people will remember about this season is what these young women did with probably one of the most difficult, rebuilding or reloading jobs. It took us a while to put it in the rearview mirror. A lot of the questions about Caitlin and company, a lot of the questions about that era and back-to-back, all the things of the championship in the NCAAs. But when we did and we allowed this team to become who they, could be, then it really started to blossom. So I think we ended up winning, it was 11 out of the last 15 games, and they are just a really great group of young women. I couldn't be more proud of them, and I'm just really the only thing I'm sad about is it ended like this. But again, credit Oklahoma. I told them they didn't deserve to have an ending like that. But sometimes in life we don't get what we deserve both ways, right? Sometimes we get a lot. Sometimes there's really bad things that happen in life, and people don't deserve that either. But this was a game. It was unfortunate, but man, what a ride it has been with one of my favorite all-time groups of people.
All right, we'll take questions for student athletes only at this time. Right up here.
To either the players, Jeff Linder, Cedar Rapids Gazette. How do you explain the rebounding margin? It was not pretty.
Yeah, I think going into the game, that was definitely something that we knew was going to be a key asset to the game. They definitely got, a majority of their second chance points, and that was from the rebounds, obviously. They did a great job at positioning. We probably could have done a little better, but we definitely knew going into the game that their box outs and rebounds were going to be really important.
All right.
For either of you two, Elliot Clough, Hawkeye Beacon. It seemed like this game was maybe a little bit more physical than what you guys are used to. Do I have that read correct, and did that affect the rebounding margin?
I think we practiced pretty physical. Our guys got us ready for it. I think we could have stepped up a little better. But yeah, they're a strong team. I think we just should have rebounded better.
For Kylie, you had 14 points. 5 of them came in the third quarter, which was where a lot of the damage by Oklahoma was done. Especially with you returning for a 5th year, how does it kind of feel that you're someone who's still able to step up, create those opportunities for your team, even if the odds just aren't great for you guys and maybe the team's falling behind a little bit?
Yeah, I think in the third quarter we felt like there was a lot of momentum going our way in those first couple minutes, and that's kind of where I felt a little bit of confidence. I mean, the girls that I'm with on the floor always instill confidence in me, and I instill confidence in them. And it's, every single year that I've played here, it's the same. I mean, it's just the way the culture is, and I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Anything else for the student athletes? One more?
Yeah, Lucy, Jeff Linder, Cedar Rapids Gazette. It's awful early for reflection, but in a few words, how will you remember this 1 year with this program?
Yeah, I'm super grateful that I got the chance to play here. There were a lot of ups and downs, but super proud of the team, and everyone became my family. Got the best coach here, so yeah, I'm just super grateful for it, and wouldn't want it any other way. It just wasn't supposed to happen tonight.
All right. Student athletes are dismissed at this time.
Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you. Thank you for everything.
All right. Questions for Coach? Right up front.
Jan DeLuca, no cap space. Early on in this game, you guys were able to kind of get out to an early lead, and then it kind of ended up snowballing. But it felt like early, the points off turnovers, kind of a quick 5, and then as OU kind of builds a lead, those points off turnovers kind of slowed down for you guys. Was it something on the Oklahoma end where they were just kind of cleaning some things up, or how would you kind of define that in your eyes?
Well, I think, that's why you want to host. It's really a benefit. It kind of, when it rolls with you, you get a little bit more comfortable. I think it was just kind of, they're really good. I mean, they're athletes. They hit the portal hard. They're just, they're bigger, faster, stronger. And I told you yesterday the degree of difficulty to guard all of that. But I will say what's been kind of weird, we shot 11 free throws in this regional. 11. 27 free throws to our 7 today. Oklahoma, they're going to win. But I mean, that just is, when it's called like that, and it was not why we lost the game, made that be clear, but 27 to 7 and then 11 in the 2 games. So I think that's part of it. And I don't think we thought about it much of the time. I don't think the players did. I think we weren't really hitting. I don't think you can really, without some bigs, really big bodies, you can't really slow or stop Oklahoma. You got to score with them. And that was my big thing. I just thought it was kind of a roll of the dice, because when we haven't performed well this year, we've had too many scoring droughts. And that'd be 3 minutes, right? And that's why we lost some close games. But this one, when it goes south on you, it's just a different mentality when it's the last, when you're in a one-and-done tournament. And that's where I couldn't, in the timeouts, you could just start the upperclassmen. You're trying to reel it back, right? As a coach, you're trying to slow the tension and so forth. But I think it was just the fact that Oklahoma's defense was really good, but then we missed some wide open looks too, right? There were just some shots. We missed some layups, and that's a credit. It's the mental greatness of the defense. But I just think to win on the road in an NCAA tournament on someone's home court, you got to really hit, and the game's got to be called a way that you're going to get to the line a little more. Yeah.
Jan, Elliott Clough, Hawkeye Beacon. Mm-hmm. The intentional foul, first of all, did you get an explanation for that? And secondly, did you feel like that was where that momentum really went into Oklahoma's favor?
I did. I mean, I didn't have a chance to see it. I just asked some unbiased people at the scores table, and I don't know if they were NCAA or one was in Oklahoma. And I just said, "What's your gut on that?" They're like, "We're a little surprised it got upgraded," And I felt like it was, but I have to see it again. It's not one thing, but that was a 5-point swing at the wrong time. I'm curious to take a poll of hands. Anybody see it? Did it look like Hannah intentionally did that? I don't think so. But you know what? We need to make more shots. But I just thought that was kind of a weird thing, and I think that was one of the big swing of the game. And when you swing it like that, and then they capitalize, I think she missed a free throw, right? And then they hit a 3 or something out of it. But I think our players were pretty frustrated, that just was like, I was trying to calm them down. But, I thought that was a big swing of the game.
Back left.
Jack Birmingham, Daily Iowan. Jen, it's crazy, but it's been probably 4 or 5 months since the media day where, you were answering all those questions about Caitlin. You were talking about Lucy as like one of the best mid-range players you've seen. And, she's certainly had a crazy season, ups and downs with the team. But overall, just kind of what's your impression of her, like, even though she only got a year here, but it was part of such a transitional rebuilding year.
Yeah. I think if she could have had 2 years here, we probably would see her percentage go a little bit up. She had to learn so much of our system, and obviously I believe the Big Ten is so much different than the Big East, and the Big East and the Big Ten are so much different than the SEC. So I think just, she had to learn and cram so much in, and then also leading. But she did with so much resiliency and so much positivity. I just feel really badly for, they're just a really great group of young women that have poured their heart and souls into it. And, just talked about it's kind of just a lesson in life. I mean, it doesn't guarantee all your hard work and all your resiliency. Some days you just pick the wrong day, the bad day to have a bad day, right? But Lucy Olsen, we aren't here without Lucy Olsen. And I just hope that she always feels so proud of that. And I think she enjoyed her experience. I think the ups and the downs are going to help shape her. But we are not here without Lucy. And, she'll always be part of my life and always be part of hers, all of them. Yeah.
Coach Kate Dahlhauser, OU Daily. Despite the ending of this season, how do you feel this season went as your first time as head coach?
You know, I think it's really a huge success. I really do. I mean, I know it's hard to say here. I mean, I feel really badly about the loss, but, you know, taking over for a couple of icons, you know, is what I always wanted to do, and I'm so grateful for everything I was a part of. But when you get into the, you know, I knew it would be hard to take it over, but the knowing and the going through were two different things. Lots of shadows looming, and just how the players, they had to really understand that too and grow and morph. And we had a lot of resiliency. We lost a lot of close games. Really, we never let a game get away from us this whole year until now. We played Tennessee. We played Maryland. Certainly OU is really, really good. But this was the first time where I just really thought it went off the rails. You know, just mentally you could sense it. But I really think it's because they loved it so much and they didn't want it to be over. And when you really love something, I mean, you think about a good book or a good movie you're watching, you're just disappointed when you know it's about, you know what happened in the book and you got a page and a half left and you know it's got to end even though you really know. That's what it feels like in this game. It just all of a sudden you're like, I don't really like that ending. But then what's even worse than the ending of the book, it's the ending of their careers. It's the ending of a season. And that's the brilliance of sport, the exhilaration if you're the Oklahoma Sooners, right? But when you're the losers, right, there's only going to be one. At some point, there's only going to be one in this March Madness. And so when I think back on that, they were so amazing. They got here. I mean, we had a 5-game losing streak, and it wasn't looking good that, you know, we were going to go anywhere but the NIT. So then to get a 6 seed and, you know, have a respectable, you know, respect of the committee, yeah, I am really proud of the year. I'm not proud of how we were today, but I'm going to credit Oklahoma. They did a heck of a job.
We've got time for one more in the back.
Darian Souther with the Des Moines Register. Jen, you touched on a lot of things there, just the pressure that this team dealt with from the beginning, that even getting this opportunity at times looked bleak. Just how pivotal do you feel like this year is in keeping the momentum going of this program and everything you guys are about? You know,
I think it was huge. I mean, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think it's South Carolina, UConn, and us that sold out. You know, when we've hosted, we sell out. You know, we've, if I, you know, wish we could have done a little better and hosted, right? But I think the fan base, I think that's what I told the players. The thing that I think they did that was so wonderful is the Iowa fan base fell in love with them too. And I think that was just, for me, I can get choked up thinking about it. We have an intelligent fan base. You're going to have trolls, you know, on the side. You're going to have people hammering us for this. But they're really the people that understand basketball and can appreciate a really good Oklahoma team and can really appreciate, you know, what this team did, right? I feel like it was pivotal. I think they see the hope, right? We have an incredible freshman class coming in. Hopefully with some portal action. I think it's clear when you have portal wins, right, with a Reagan Beers and a Peyton Verhulst, you get you know, an inside and outside, what can instantaneously happen. So, you know, we're going to give those shots, but it ain't for lack of trying. Every program in the country is trying that. But I love our freshmen coming in. I love our freshmen on our team right now. They got a taste of it, right? So I think the year was pivotal. I think it was successful. I think Iowa women's basketball has had a rich tradition. It's continuing, and I think we have a sensational culture. And I'd like to think that at the end of the day, with all the money that has instantaneously rebuilt programs, I'm hoping that someday that culture, it won't come down just to those dollar signs, and people will start to realize that you can wait till you're later in life to chase the money. But try to find a place that you're going to grow and going to really love the people you're playing with. And I just think that's where we're going to all be in a weird juxtaposition now. Used to be people asked when they came and they'd ask about academics and they'd kind of want to know where they're living. And now the questions all of us are getting are, they're not around that, right? So I'm hopeful that this team continue that joy and that culture, and we'll keep attracting to it.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks so much for covering women's sports. Appreciate it.